Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Milan Weekly Podcast channel. On this episode of the Milan Weekly Podcast, we're going to go through the performance of Milan against Lazio from this weekend. We got the recap of Serie A coming through our FUBU Canada segment, and we're going to preview the upcoming game against Torino this Saturday. You don't want to miss all this and more tonight. It's Fabio, it's Gio, and it's Stevie P. All three. This is the three-way you were hoping and dreaming of. Don't tell your wife, all right? We're ready. We're back to reality, unfortunately. If you had Scudetto dreams, they were fleeting and they are gone because I don't believe anymore, and I hope you don't. Don't waste your time. But if you're here and you like Milan content and you like talking calcio, well, there's only one thing. If you haven't done it already, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you're up to date with all of our videos. When we're going live, please smash the like button, leave a comment, follow us on all our audio platforms. And if you want to support the channel, there is only one way. It's Super Chats. And then another way, the Patreon. Become a part of our Patreon family. Stevie, you ready? Trust me.
Let's go. I'm ready.
Gio, mic check. 1 2 1 2. We live from Southern Cal.
I'm ready, Fabito. I'm ready. Forza Italia.
Forza Italia live baseball updates coming right now. I apologize if you don't like it. Tough. Welcome to Milan Weekly Podcast. Let's get us in here. What's happening here? What up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Fabio. Welcome to the Milan Weekly Podcast. I'm filling in for Vinny T. That's the one and only Stevie P in the middle, and my partner Gio from coast to coast there on the right side. Guys, let's start with you. How are you doing, Stevie P?
I'm fucking pissed off.
I know. Well, you know what? You had a good week, so you came back to unfortunate circumstances with the Lazio game. We're going to get right into it, but before we do, ladies and gentlemen, Milan had an opportunity to close the gap, and they just gave us another terrible performance. And it's really hard to kind of get past, but we're going to do our best to try to dissect it and figure it out and see if there's any hope going down in the future. We're going to talk all about that. But before we do, quick promo for our man Stevie P, Vintage Pitch. Tell the people what it is and where they can find it, Stevie P.
Guys, vintagepitch.com, passion project of mine and partner Nick Bagnoli. Guys, we're childhood friends. We came up with this t-shirt concept, streetwear for calcio t-shirts, Milan, Juve, Inter, Lazio, Roma, Naples. You know, we're pretty much touching all the seven sisters, and we're going to be branching out a little bit to the stupid EPL teams. Gotta love them. But big news, guys. We have a World Cup line coming out for this summer. So that's going to drop soon. You'll see them on social media. So follow us at Vintage Pitch on Instagram and at Vintage Pitch app on TikTok. Guys, there's going to be giveaways. There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff. And guys, thanks to Evangelista Sports. We sell them here in Montreal at Evangelista Sports. You can order online from their website, and you can order online from vintagepitch.com, guys. Passion project. Let's go. Support vintagepitch.com.
You'll find it in the description. Support Vintage Pitch Apparel. Guys, all right, let's get into it, all right? Because this is why we're here. Let's talk about where we are. The super chats are open. So if you want to support the channel and you want your comment to be read, hit us with the super chat, and it helps support the channel. All right, so Milan go into Lazio. Lazio, the anticipation is that they're having a struggling year themselves. They had a ban this past summer, couldn't pick up any players, and they look like they don't know where their project is going. And the fans have had enough over the past couple of weeks. They had a boycott going, but of course, the boycott was lifted just for this game, Stevie P. And what were your thoughts with the anticipation going into the game, coming off the high? We're gonna come back to what happened the week before, so we could get a little bit of your thoughts. But what were your anticipation going into this particular game and seeing the starting 11 with no Rabiot, going with Jashari in there? What were your thoughts?
Look, I was there live for Rabiot's yellow card where he's going to miss this game, so we knew that we were not going to have Rabiot. For me, Fabio was, watching on Fubo, seeing the Olimpico filled with Bianco Celeste for the first time in the longest time. I knew that we were going to have to navigate at least the first 20-25 minutes of this game, but nowhere would I have thought that it would have been a performance of like we put together this past weekend. From the high of last week to probably one of the lows of the season. If it's not losing to one of the bottom table teams, we have trouble with the mid-table teams. And you saw that Lazio came to play, and they were building and feeding off the energy of their fans. So for me, it was very worrisome. And when Rabiot is not there, we touched upon it a couple of weeks ago before I left. Rabiot's becoming a focal point of this midfield, and when he's not there, we have problems.
G, your thoughts going into the game, seeing the starting 11, what they were, obviously Jashari getting a chance to play with Modric out there. They're not giving Ricci a chance. They prefer Jashari and him together with Fofana. But overall, what were your thoughts going into the game and kind of the first couple of minutes? How were you feeling?
My, my moments was Fabio that I was hyped. I seen Inter drop points. We don't care about VAR rules against them, even though that they BS because we have a lot that goes against us. So I was hyped. I was driving to the valley. And if everybody knows me, yes, I'm from California, Southern Cal, but I hate driving to LA. Okay. Gio hates it. He doesn't love it, but I was pumped to see my guys. And boy, oh boy, after the first 5 minutes, I knew we were in for a shit show. So, I mean, after the first 5 minutes, Fabio, I knew it's either going to be a 0-0 or it was going to be like they're going to hit us in the 90th minute, but they hit us a little bit earlier after that. And I think like we all said at the Springbok, Estupido went from hero. Last week he was Estupinian, but this
he was purpose.
Yeah, like it just was it was crazy because that was like the third mistake he made, Fabio, during that 26 minutes, and that third one was so mind-boggling. But after that, I knew we were gonna struggle. I think nobody was up to it. The whole team. We struggled without Rabiot, which is crazy, Fabio. Who would have
who would have ever thought? Exactly. We thought, hey, this is some sort of Juve reject, an Allegri lover boy. Do we really need him? He's been crazy valuable this year. Possibly, I know we lost that first game. I hear his absence again. We lose. And it's just like Rabiot, he's too important. That is possibly the best pickup we've had this season. I know everybody wants to say Modric, but I think you gotta tip your cap to Rabiot because 2 losses when the guy's not in the damn game, that's a little too suspect. But you mentioned it, going from hero. All right, Steve, you're one of the few people to say you got to see an Estupinian go live, okay? And now you see him go to the villain. I mean, was Allegri wrong to go with Estupinian? Because I read somebody say basically, Estupinian, you have to reward your faith in him. He came through with a big goal the week before, but you put him out there and he gets cooked alive. And that is the play of the game. That changes the entire result. Him early, and Milan's on the back foot, and we have to try to change the game. But what were your thoughts seeing this idiotic play by Estupinian?
So, to be fair, it's Estupidente, and Estupidente made a really stupid mistake, right? Like that's That's stuff that I see with my boys when I'm coaching on Saturdays and Sundays when we have games, and you know, uh, I get frustrated at stuff like that with 10, 11-year-old boys who don't play the game. This is a professional soccer player, and I remember standing up when that play happened, and I just put my hands on my head and said, "This is a professional soccer player." So it was that, but it was a calamity of errors. They were very, very strange. The back three, Pavlovic, the Winter, uh, Tomori. I found that they were shaky from the beginning. I don't know if they were caught in the moment. I don't know if it's the pressure, but what we're lacking from those three guys, and we've said it for a long time now, and we got away with murder for a long time, is that we need a good ball playing center back. So a center back that can make that pass, that risky pass, or that more than that 5 foot pass, right? So we're seeing a lot of teams probably take Tomori out of the way because of the three. It looked like he's the one who's a little bit more comfortable on the ball. The Winter seems like he does not want to be next to the ball, and Pavlovic always has the ball because if I'm the other team, he's the worst of the three with his feet. Does other things well, don't get me wrong, but with his feet, he's the worst of the three. And it
But he
seems like he
thinks he's a
always has the
striker.
ball.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
and
wa-
and you see when he's playing, he wants to go forward. It's just unfortunately his technical ability is limited up until X, right? But if that guy would have feet, he would be really a force. But he just doesn't have it, and the other teams know it. And the worst part about that is that he's on the same side as a Stupinente.
yes.
So what happens is that they basically build a wall. Sorry, Gio. They build a wall, and they basically force Milan to try to build from that left hand side, and it's struggle after struggle after struggle
Yes.
because after that, Gio and Fabio, not only is Estupiniente on that left hand side, the dead walker of dead walkers on the left hand side too. Guys, he doesn't get a pass with me anymore. Guys, I'm hard on layout. Very hard. I've always been hard on layout. But guys, I saw him live, and what I saw live, I will never be able to forget. Because if you're walking and trotting and jogging in the Derby de la Madonnina, I can't expect you to come up and play against Lazio. And he does nothing. He unfortunately does nothing. And guys, that whole left side is a huge problem. Remember when we won the Scudetto, guys? Our right side was a problem. Well, now it's the left side, and it's terrible. Teams understand that if Milan has to build from the left hand side, they will automatically win the ball. Now, again, in this Lazio game, it was more than that. Every single place we played the ball, we lost it. Bounces
Yeah.
weren't going our way. We were just very sloppy in the midfield. And this is a result. You lose the midfield, you expose your defenders, and even at that, Gio said it. After the first 5 minutes, I was like, oh, fuck, not again. No, don't do this to me now. Don't do this to me now. Not now. Not when we can make it 5 points. 5 points would have put a shit ton of pressure on Inter, and we botched it.
Yeah, we thought we were going to gain points, and we lost points. They gained a point on us. That's awesome. Gee, you saw, let's talk, because it's not just layout. Our entire, if you want to call them forwards, our attacking force is just not there. Pulisic was terrible this game. So what's going on with these guys, man? Then we have an outburst from Leao when he's getting subbed off. What are your thoughts about this, bro?
Fabio, I've been saying it here. I mean, our two biggest gunners have been letting us down the whole season. I think only Leao tied versus Pisa, and then everybody was all
Well,
over
not
him.
not
Like,
this whole season, just this part
no,
of the year.
Fabio, when we play the little teams, that's when, if you say you're the top five left winger in the world, that's when you're supposed to show out. Those are the games that you have to show out. When
I
they're
agree.
not giving you nothing, you have to break down the defense on your own. If you feel that you're the best, like if you're up there with Vinny Jr. and all these guys, this is what you have to do. Him or Pulisic haven't been doing that. And then why are these guys not fit? Like what strange thing is that? Pulisic look like he can't even sprint right now. Bro, like you guys are only playing like 38 games a season. And maybe even sprinkle 2 Coppa Italia games in there and one Super Copa. Like you guys are not playing as many games as the other teams. So why are we walking? Why don't we have that pep in the step that we're having? I think the two big gunners ain't been showing up versus the little teams, Fabio.
Pulisic did well. Timmy's while Leao missed games. Yes, that is true. Definitely. I don't think Pulisic and Leao work well. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, so I was just about to say Timmy's statement is rock solid there because Pulisic did play much better when Leao wasn't there, and I'm going to the outburst. What the fuck?
I agree.
What the fuck? There's no reason that this guy should outburst. Don't tell me he had 1 goal or 2 goals and he's going for a hat trick or a tripleta and he needs to stay, or he left everything on the pitch. At one point in time, they zoomed in close to him. He barely had a bead of sweat. One of the most impressive things, and Frank GPT's in the chat now, so he's gonna blast everybody about the trip and tell everybody about that. It happened at 3 games, okay, guys? Juve Pisa on Saturday, Milan Inter on Sunday, and Atalanta Futuro, the U23 on Monday. Guys, you have to see how these goalers warm up. It's honestly something else. Mike Maignan, after his warm-up before the Derby della Madonnina, was soaked. I think that he needed to go take a shower. It's so physically demanding, their warm-up, that he's ready. But you saw Leao. He left the warm-up Derby della Madonnina like 2 to 3 minutes before everybody else, which I found very strange. And now an outburst at Lazio because he's getting subbed off. But buddy, if you watch tape, instead of making fucking rap music with Keane, that everybody wants to bring in Keane, so we're missing one guy from Boys to Men, and making music, watch the video, buddy. Because if you watch the video, you don't do anything. And I get it. Everybody's going to, they're going to magnify the pass that Pulisic should have made, the through ball. They're just guys that are not playing with confidence. Zero confidence. Leao has no step. He can't beat anybody. He can't even beat people with speed anymore. And that was his major asset. Now, we throw in the goal here, the assist here. It's great, guys. But this is $100 million player that's playing like as if he belongs at the dollar store. The confidence is not there. And I personally, from the beginning, have been saying it 100 times. Those two guys, Pulisic at a certain point in the Lazio game, he ended up on the right wing. Right? Because Salchicha Maker is back to the Salchicha Maker that belongs in Belgium, not in Italy. So once Pulisic filtered to the right-hand side, and we had Fulkrug and I think it was Nkuku up there, things started to kind of come to a little bit of, we were a bit dangerous, and I get that Lazio wanted to absorb a lot of pressure. But there's a problem. Now, it's their job to get these guys going. And if you're just throwing them up front and it's not going, now we have to find something else. Because tell me what you want. On the left-hand side, Estupinian is not an all-time starter all the time. So if you got to figure something out, throw Leao back on the left and see what he can do as a left winger again. And let's put 2 strikers up there. And Bartesagli part of the back 3, because he's actually a ball-playing defender. If you're going to stay with this stubborn 3-5-2. I've seen it everywhere, guys. people want to inject another forward. It's really hard at this stage in the game to now change things up where we're injecting a third forward because our midfield has a 40-year-old in there. And my God, does he run? Does he do kilometers? I don't think he has a GPS on there, but that guy does kilometers. For a 40-year-old, he does kilometers.
Gee, well, what did you think of Leao's outburst, man? I thought it was outrageous because a couple of times, as soon as he doesn't get the pass, he's very demonstrative. He just walks offside, doesn't even attempt to get back on quickly to just in case somebody wants to play the next ball in. What were your thoughts seeing it, man? Don't read that moron
No,
in the
no, no,
chat
I'm not
because
reading
he
it.
would have been quiet this
Fabio,
weekend, but he's
Fabio,
talking
my
shit.
thing is like, what's the outburst for? There was a time that they gave him the ball 1-on-1 and he slowed down the play.
Yeah.
That's your fault, bro. You're supposed to run forward and you're looking back. Like we're not in the NBA waiting for all these players to come in the play. Why don't you take up Gila, who is a slow player, 1-on-1? If you're that guy, he slowed the ball down 3 times. Now they throw
He
a pass.
slowed the ball down, Gio. He slowed the ball down because he was waiting for someone who he would pass the ball back to and take a step back three. It looked exactly like that. There's no fucking 3-pointers in Serie A. There's no that I know of, right? So like I agree. That play was so frustrating because we actually had numbers, what we want. We got them on the counter and
Nothing. We got nothing. In the end, guys, I have to revert back to, you know, Allegri was saying some stuff at the end that maybe, with regards to Leao's substitution, maybe he shouldn't have taken him off. Everybody's calling for Allegri. Look, you can't keep playing this way. Like we understand this is kind of what you get with Allegri ball, but you could see Leao and Pulisic together is not working. So, do you think? And we'll start with you, Gio, on this one. Do you think Allegri is just too stubborn, or he's hand tied to this formation, to this style of play, because they're so limited depth wise? Because you see, we don't have depth on defense. We don't really have depth in the midfield. Once Rabiot is not there, we have one or two guys who can come in, but we have Modric playing the whole game. We swapped Fofana out with Ricci, and we tried with Jashari this game. Didn't necessarily come to anything good. And then our offensively, I don't know. I know people are saying we looked a little better when Nkunku came in or Full Crew comes in and you have more of a center forward in there. But I don't see them producing. I don't see them doing anything. So is Allegri hand-tied with the talent that he has and some of the choices we made, or is he just too stubborn? He doesn't want to change the way he's playing. What are your thoughts in regards of Allegri to everything that's been happening?
Well, according to Allegri, he asked for 3 players and they didn't give it to him. So maybe that's why we're playing how we're playing. I don't know. I think like with the layout thing, like Stevie gave a good point. Maybe we had to play him in his national position. Now, if he still keeps on dropping bombs, then it's not an Allegri thing. But Allegri is gonna want you to run and run. Imagine this, Fabio. Richie comes on for 18 minutes and he like outlaps like layout and what he did the whole game, and layout had 60 minutes.
Right. That's not
Like
right.
that, like Richie, you already know Richie putting in 5 kilometers easy. Give him 2 minutes, he's already running crazy. And maybe he's not doing stuff like proactively, but at least you could see that he's putting in the effort to get down the balls and go into position. So yeah,
All right.
that's bad,
So
Bobby.
I hear you. Steve, your thoughts. Is it on Allegri? Do you feel he's being too stubborn, or is it the
well,
players and the people that put the players together?
look, this is the perfect storm of how to bottle a scudetto because it's up. What's frustrating is that it's up for the taking because Inter's not that good. I still think that they're the best team in the league, but they're not that good, guys. They're beatable. They're really, really beatable.
Yeah, we beat them twice.
We beat them twice. They drop points against Atalanta, and it's for Milan to have understood this. Maybe at the halfway point. And again, we've all said it's very hard to bring in people at the winter mercato. But if he asked you for Rabiot, you brought Rabiot and it brought success. At a certain point, if he asked you for 3 players in the winter mercato, was the time for ownership and fucking Furlani and stupid Zlatan and all these fucking guys and Tare to say, hey guys, let's put our little dick measuring contest on the side, and we're gonna get the coach the players that he wants, and let's roll with the punches, right? Maybe we would have not been 8 points back, right? But now we are 8 points back. And I said it. It's Allegri's job to get these guys going. They're his 2 best players. They need to get them going. And in regards to the depth, guys, I'm sorry. Yashari, terrible this game.
Yeah.
Salchicha Maker, terrible.
Awful.
Game.
He's been bad.
He's been bad. Extension. So now you need to find solutions, Akatemi hasn't been that bad, guys, when he's come on.
He can't be worse than Salamakis.
No, he can't. And he's actually been good, right? So at a certain point, I get, your Salchicha Maker gives you some of those, gives you some of those attributes to move forward, and I get it. But now it's like we're continuously losing ball after ball after ball, and in the final third, guys, we need to figure something out. We're whipping in crosses when no one's there. We're still doing it.
So maddening.
So frustrating.
How are you whipping in crosses when there's one guy with 4 defenders around him? It doesn't make any sense. You're hoping for a miracle ball and for all of the defenders to have a brain fart at the same time. Yeah. It's just ridiculous here.
And it happened again, guys. It's, when we have Pulisic and Leao up there on top, they make the same runs, guys. And that's so frustrating because when we actually do get across and there's someone that's open, the person is not at the right place in terms of the 2 strikers. And it's very simple. One takes the first post, one takes the second post. Guys, you can do so many things in the final third to change things up. But you got to be willing to put in the effort. And either, I'm not going to say Pulisic is not, because I'm convinced that he's hurt. Because like Gio said, we see no acceleration. We see nothing from Pulisic. But Leao, if he's not hurt, this is same old Leao, who is not trying to put in any effort. And we have no people in those lanes, those channels where we can be dangerous. And even the combination play, guys, we're trying to play these little 2-foot passes into the box to someone who's surrounded by 3 people, has to turn, shoot in a matter of seconds, and is not going to get a good shot off. I feel like our final third play is really, really bad, and it removes the already little scoring chances that we have. And it's a calamity of errors right now. So long story short, yeah, it is on Allegri. He needs to get these guys going.
Well, we know who to blame for this. Our own Jan, Busted Calcio X. He said it last week. The loss next week to Lazio is going to be so on par for the season. But happy we beat Inter today. Forza Milan. And he was right. God damn it, he was right. It's exactly what happened. And I like this one, Gio, just for you. You killed the man, but not the idea. And you know what's sad? Estupiñán had a great opportunity with a header early in the game that could have at least got us in the right direction, but he shanked it terribly. I mean, just awful, awful performance by our team. But that's it about Milan. You know what time it is. All right, this segment is brought to you by Football Canada, the home of Serie A and the Premier League and whatever else they have up there. It's a great program. Go check it out. MWP sent you. Stevie, let's start here. Torino, big win on Friday over Parma, 4-1. I mean, a big second half gives Torino an easy win. They needed these 3 points. They were kind of blubbering here or there, right? Torino, good win for them.
Torino, I think, matched their goal total for the season in this game. So good on Torino.
All right, the big one now. Steve, Gio, Inter against Atalanta. Battle of the Black and Blues. Well, Esposito gets Inter on the board, but then there's controversy at the end, and Atalanta gets an equalizer in the last couple of minutes of the game, the 82nd, I believe. But controversy, G, what do you think? I know they were saying, some people were saying handball, some people say that there was a push, all this other stuff. What do you think about the controversy at the end of this game? It's just typical Serie A, but good to see Inter drop points.
It was good to see Inter drop point and get a taste of their own medicine. To me, like that's a foul, but they let it go. I don't know if the bar was working or not, but all these Interistas are saying, "Oh, and you guys saying this Morata League." I don't know. The refs are on one this whole weekend, man. Even with us, Fabio, we missed the handball on that goal that at Katami it hit the defender, but that's not here nor there. So they you know what, the referees, I think they think they're TikTokers. You know, the TikTokers are everywhere, or the streamers. That's what the referees are, and they just wanted to be
Because they're
again on the front
streaming
news
now.
of the Gazeta or
Yeah, yeah.
whatever newspaper.
No
That's
way that's a foul, guys. That's not a foul. Let's play soccer. We're not playing ballerina anymore. We're not playing ballerina only when Inter plays. Stay on your feet there, buddy, and you're going to be able to play soccer. If you're always on the floor, Barella style, Dumfries style, this is what you're going to get. Too bad. That's a goal. Move on. Stop crying. You're 8 points because Milan's giving you gifts once in a while, but you're not that good. Let's move on.
All right, let's go. Napoli hosting Lecce. They get the victory 2-1. Despite Lecce getting the first goal early in the first 3 minutes, second half, they turn it around with a Holland, whatever that guy's name is.
Holland.
Holland. And then Politano gets the winner in the 67th minute. Thoughts on this one with Napoli getting a needed 3 points, Steve?
Napoli needed this, and I'm pretty sure watching the game, fans were not happy when Napoli went down. But again, this was a must-win for Napoli, and because of Milan's stupidity, brings them closer to second place.
Juve, another battle of the white and black jerseys here. Udinese hosting Juventus. Juventus gets the win by Boga, and that seems to be all Juve needed in this game. What were your thoughts on this one, guys? Juve getting the victory over Udinese. Gio, thoughts?
I mean, dang, you know what happened, Fabio? I didn't even know Boga had signed for UA. That's how I had a clue I am.
No, he's been there for a
and then when he
while.
scored the goal, I was like, woo! Okay. But I mean, Spalletti's just trying to get him into top four. That's all he's working for. I don't even see what plays they're running over there in UVA. I think it's just try to score a goal, Fabio, basically, till the end of the season.
So big, just a little thing on this there, just because watching Juve Pisa, Juve Pisa last week, first half was absolutely terrible. Not only that, once Jonathan David came off, and they introduced Boga, that's when everything started to click for Juve. And if I'm Ospina, I'm looking at that and I'm like, I'm your 20 to $30 million other striker that you signed, and when you're taking out your Jonathan David and you're not putting me in, where does that leave me? Because you're putting in Boga. But their prime and their best lineup includes Yildiz and Boga up front. Imagine. So that's crazy.
That is crazy. Next game, Verona hosting Genoa. In this game, well, I got to catch a little bit of this game because this was the early morning game, I believe, on, was it Saturday? Yeah, I think so. Actually, excuse me, Sunday. But this was a good game. Genoa gets 2 goals in the second half, and Vitinha's goal, Madonna, what a shot. I mean, just a wicked shot. Nothing the keeper could do. It was just way too much. And then in the end, Ostergaard gets the killer, the dagger, and gives De Rossi. I believe De Rossi is the coach of Genoa. Am I right? Yes. De Rossi gets a valuable 3 points for Genoa, keeping Verona in a very, very precarious place of being in the bottom 3. We'll talk more about that. But any thoughts on Genoa Verona?
De Rossi is the second coming of Pep, according to the Italian media. After this win, he's doing a phenomenal job at Genoa. So I just want to big up De Rossi. He's doing a good job, man.
Any thoughts on Genoa? Let's move to the next one.
So Genoa, apparently De Rossi loves it in Genoa, loves the fans. I think he's acclimated excellently to that. So good on him. It's a young Italian coach that's bringing new ideas. Let's see. He had a tough time at Rome, so let's go.
Yeah. All right, next game. Surprisingly, a lot of drama in this one. Pisa 3-1 over Cagliari. 2 red cards in this game, one for each team. But I mean, Pisa had this game pretty much under control. They got a penalty early that they buried, and then in the second half, after going down 10 men in the first half, actually, they get 2 goals in a matter of 3 minutes to put this game out of reach. Cagliari gets a what do you call it? A consolation goal to get it to 3-1, but valuable 3 points for Pisa. I don't know how much overall it's going to do for them, but pretty valuable win. Let's just go to the next one because this game was interesting. Sassuolo hosting Bologna. Bologna 1-0 early goal. 6 minutes in, they get their goal. Thoughts on Bologna getting a valuable 3 points over Sassuolo?
This was must. Sassuolo tough at home. I think 2 weeks ago they beat Atalanta at home with a man down, and now they're playing a tough Bologna team. Guys, tough schedule for Sassuolo, but Bologna needed these 3 points.
Next game, Como hosting Roma. Despite Roma taking the lead, they end up losing all 3 points to get a penalty, which Milan converts. But then in the second half, 2 goals. The winner by Diego Carlos gets Como the valuable 3 points. G, thoughts on Fabregas in this game? I mean, I know we saw, what's his name, Gasparini getting a little hot in this game, probably not liking what he's seeing, and Como's coming up hot for that 4th spot. But your thoughts, guys, on Como defeating Roma?
I love this game, Fabio. It was end to end. I mean, especially that goal that Diego Carlos scored at the end. But this game was good. This would have been the marquee game of the week. I mean, it wouldn't have been too shabby, but I just liked how they were playing. Gasparini, when he blows a casket, that's A1 for me and Stevie P. We like it when he blows a casket.
Hasn't been dancing too much this year, Roma. Huh? Guys, Como at home, picking up the 3 points against Roma. I think Roma did this to themselves. You said it, picking up the lead and then letting Como back in it. Fabregas plays a certain way. We've seen that telenovela happen when against Allegri. It's happening again against another older coach like Gasparini. This time he gets the best of Gasparini. But Como put in an effort, guys. Like, from what we saw, and you're looking at the game right after, right? That's that Lazio Milan. If you watch Como Roma and you saw Lazio Milan, there's a couple of players on Como with the type of effort that they put in that you wouldn't mind having on your team. So again, we saw in the draft, in this chat over here, someone put, Milan fans, unfortunately, we can't say it the way it is. No, we can say it the way it is, and we do say it the way it is. If you're going to cry about your defender falling, and you're going to look at VAR in super duper slow motion to see someone's shoelace touch his cleat and make him fall, then we can complain. Did you hear us talk about the handball that touched 7 handballs, but yet the call was against Milan? Like, I don't like those calls. I don't want to see those calls. I don't want a penalty shot for that. But this is the way it is. This is the game. This is soccer. This is our point of view. And again, Como versus Roma was one of those games where Roma needed to come out, and just Roma didn't. They didn't. They came out and then let Como take this game and surpass them in that 4th spot. So this is the games that Roma has to win, and they can't. They can't show up to the big games.
Obviously, Milan lose to Lazio in Rome, and then finally, the final game today, Monday, Cremonese hosting Fiorentina. Cremonese is slipping, boys, slipping. Fiorentina making sure they stay out of that bottom spot. Valuable 3 points today. 4 goals here. First one by Parisi, then Piccoli, Doro, and Goodmanson all get on the board. Valuable 3 points. Let's look here at the standings. Inter there, 8 points ahead of Milan. Napoli now only 1 point back of Milan. Como securely in 4th place right now with 54 points. Juve a point behind them in 5th. Roma 51 at 6. And now Atalanta there in 7th, 47th. And let's look at the bottom. Cremonese has now fallen into the bottom 3. If they weren't last week, I don't remember. but they are there right now. 24 points. Pisa and Verona both with 18 in 19 and 20th, respectively. Guys, you look at the standings. Como's there at fourth. That is clearly the biggest story in regards of the top 4 spots. But now Napoli's only 1 point behind us. Thoughts on the standings, Steve?
Cremonese, right? I can't believe we have almost no points against these guys. This is it's Milan's summary of the season in just looking at that. If you look at Pisa and Cremonese, which would have been, which should have been, 6 points from each, that's plus 12. I think we have 2 or 3. I think we have 4 from those two games.
Yeah.
That's the difference, right? Inter, they takes care of business, goes, and if you're anywhere in that second half of the standings, they're pretty much winning those games, and that's the deciding factor, right? Is it that they're that much better? No, but they take care of business, and this is the 8 point gap, right? That Napoli is 1 point behind Milan. That's another thing that I'm just shocked. I don't think Napoli is a top 14 of all those teams that are fighting in there. And again, Milan, I'm biased because I'm a Milan fan. But of those teams, I think Napoli is the one that might lose their spot. But again, that being said, the way Milan played, if they continue to play that way, we'll be doing the show in a couple of weeks, and we'll be near that 4th spot.
I think this is probably how things are going to pan out. I think in regards of the top 6, I think the only difference is that we see Juve struggle a little more, and Roma find their way above into 5th place, and Juve drop to 6th. But otherwise, I think 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th will stay exactly how it is until the end of the season. That's just my opinion. All right, guys, this has been Fubu. Let's continue on the show. All right, that segment has been brought to you by Fubu Canada, the home of Serie A and the Premier League in Canada. All right, guys, we gotta get to the next part, all right? Because we got games coming up, right? Presidente wanted to show this is the probability of us finishing top 4 at the moment. We're sitting at a what is that? A 60, 80, 76%, maybe 96%.
96.
Yeah. All right. So seems like objective has been completed as far as what we heard from management, from Allegri.
That's the management, not us. Sorry, Fabio. That's not you, Stevie P's. No, that.
No.
Say for Lonnie. Don't say us, Fabito.
I didn't say us per se. I mean, like,
we need to turn this into 2, Bobby. We need to turn this into 2 right here, man.
But all right. So we have Torino coming up. Obviously, Torino, not a great performance, but they did get a victory. Good performance this past week, but they haven't looked that great in the past couple of weeks. We need to get ourselves back on track. We're going to have Rabiot coming back. So let's talk Milan-Torino preview here. So, Steve, what are you expecting from this game? We kind of say this almost every week, don't we? We want to know what's going to change this time, right? What kind of formation you want to see? Who do you want to see in the starting 11? What do you think, with everything that went on, what do you think is going to end up happening?
Look, I would be shocked to see Estupinian on the starting lineup. Like, if Bartesagli is hurt, then I understand we need to find another solution, because Estupinian is not the solution. You're not going to see Yashari. You're going to see Rabiot slot in there, which he belongs. Then it's the Fofana. So Fofana, for some reason, finds a starting role, but doesn't really do much, right? He finds himself in certain situations where he can be dangerous and score goals. Guys, it's time to play Ricci. You understand? It's time to find something else. And again, if you're going to play Ricci and you're going to expect goals, That's not the type of player that we went to buy. We went and buy someone like Gio said earlier, who's gonna do kilometers, help do kilometers for Modric, mold this person into someone who's going to recuperate balls, give them start being able to be more confident and play balls. And I forgot to put it in the comment, but it was a fantastic comment. We had Yashari there. And Yashari seems to be that ball playing midfielder that we need. Every fucking pass that he made against Lazio was backwards.
Yeah.
Every pass was negative. There was no positive ball. There was no trying to make. And a couple of times he tried to hit a long ball and hit someone in the first row at the Olympico, which is really far because there's a fucking track between the field. So you can imagine how much he overhit that ball. But this is the problem. This one, and Allegri needs to fix the Pulisic and Leao situation. Actually, the club needs to fix it. The club, in one of their press conferences now, someone has to come down from the ivory tower and say there's nothing there. Let's move on, because or else, guys, top 4, you can give me all the percentages you want. People are starting to catch up, and if Milan doesn't make the top 4, they can take their stupid analytics and shove it up their ass. Because when you're going with analytics in a Scudetto winning year where it's possible to win, guys, this is not the Milan that we all signed up for. We're not signing up for 4th spot. And it fucking pisses me off that, some people up there are going to be happy with 4th. During the Derby week, you had Zlatan going, Milan cares about development. Fuck you. Fuck you. You don't care about development. You have fucking won. In that fucking game, Lazio and Milan, there were fucking 2 Italians. And the 2 Italians were on Lazio. We had not won. We had not won, guys. There's 22 people on the field. There's 2 Italians.
Yeah, it's very sad. Very sad.
So what the fuck are you developing? Why would you go on national TV and say that Milan cares about development? Like, that's what pisses me off. You don't, because you fucked up Camarda. You screwed up that loan. That we have tons of people out on loan who will never get a chance. But then Borussia Dortmund versus Bayern Munich or Bayern Leverkusen, I forget the teams, but Bayern's winning 2-0. Dortmund or Leverkusen bringing in a 17-year-old Italian. Borussia Dortmund, guys. This is a big game. Whichever of the 3 it is, it's a big game. Like, that's a bit of a problem for me. And Milan is having trouble, and we actually paid money, guys, for Emerson Royal and Estupinian. Jesus fuck, just think about that, guys. We paid money. We actually paid those teams. When we gave the check for Emerson Royal, those people left without even saying goodbye. When we gave the check for Estupinian, Brighton popped a bottle of champagne. Guys, this is it's bad though. Like, you need to, if you care about development, then fucking play your youth. There's youthful people there. And I'm not saying the youth doesn't necessarily all have to be Italian. But guys, we're getting to a point where this is the second or third of the games where 22 players were on the field and 2 of those 22 players were Italian. I think it's the 3rd game. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, without Gabbia, without Bartesaghi, we're not, and Ricci's not starting, so there's really no Italians to be available there for us. But in regards to Torino here, we're 8 points, so mathematically we are not off. Inter's taking on Fiorentina, which Fiorentina needs to get a victory as well to keep themselves away from that relegation spot. What are you thinking, G? When you see this game against Torino, what are you hoping for? What do you hope to see in the game? Any particular players and pairings you want? Well, what are your thoughts?
Just to piggyback off, it's DVP. He only said that because Batasagi has developed, and he developed because Purvis had an injury. If not, we
Yeah,
wouldn't have even sniffed a Batasagi. So
Exactly.
he ain't developing shit. Injuries are, but that's not to me, Fabio. These are the games like physicality. These are the games that Brahim Diaz couldn't play because they was bullying him. They was hitting him in the back, like when back in the days when he was doing bad. Fabio, and your parent took out that chancleta or that belt. So
oh,
everybody, we
it
gotta
wouldn't.
gear up. You got to gear up. Torino, we always know they're physical. They have like an
Yeah,
NBA back three with physical players that are gonna leave something on you every time. Leao goes to run, they're gonna give him a Charlie horse to the thigh, and then that's gonna take him out of his game. To be honest with you, this
yeah,
game is about. It's not about tactics. It's not about like star players. It's about like if do you have balls to win. If you don't have balls to win, you're not gonna win this game because Torino, Bologna, teams like that, Udine, they got a back three NBA players, and you're not gonna be scoring headers. Those crosses are not coming in. So if you're not direct and you're not physical, you're gonna end up losing the game. So I need the same energy that I was pumped yesterday driving to meet up with the club. That's the same energy I need everybody, the whole 11, to be, because if not, we're gonna end up losing. Fabio, you saw what Torino did. They might have not been convincing before one. You think they won't do that to us? Every time that Milan comes, they start shaking their hands, Fabio.
yeah.
Like, oh, I need
It's hard.
one. I need them three
Yeah,
points.
exactly. Everybody turns into prime Barcelona and Buffon, right? That's what happens when they come to play us. Big Frank, we're not going to forget the super chat, Frank. Big, the Scudetto might be out of reach, but Steve will always have the Derby win, my friend. Thank you. Our Facebook, Frank GPT, Frank Encyclopedia. Thank you, Frank. We appreciate it. Guys, we're down to the final part here. We're into the extra time. Stevie, I want to ask you, just despite all the negativity that happened this past weekend, just tell me, how are you feeling when you finally got to the San Siro and you got to see a sweet Derby victory live? I mean, it had to be out of this world, Stevie.
Guys, what a fantastic experience. It took me 45 years to get to the San Siro, but what a journey, guys. Honestly, it starts from the minute you wake up in the morning, I'm not even saying Saturday. Saturday, there's a buzz, there's people around, fine. But as soon as you wake up on that Sunday morning, you feel it. You feel the energy. We hopped in the car, we parked the car very early. I think we were there at 12 o'clock. We went to the Duomo. Duomo was fantastic, beautiful, immaculate detail in that church. Just the people around you feel the energy. I had goosebumps from like 12 o'clock to 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, guys. So it was a fantastic experience. The people are super nice. Interisti, super nice. Milan, super nice. There's no problems. There's no stupidity. There's not idiots like Figo that go to the derby. Uh, they're actually gentlemen. And you know what? I watched it, and I was close to people who were Interisti where I was sitting there, treated with respect. They understood what to do. They understood to sit down. They understand that Milan is Milan, not Internazionale. It's Milan. The buzz that gets created there by the Milan fans, guys, is something that no Internazionale fan base can duplicate. They pretend, but deep down inside they can't, guys. They really can't. And that's, I think, what frustrates them the most. And you feel it in them. You feel it because when we're good, we're that much better than them. 7 Champions League trophies. When we're bad, we still beat them. We
Yeah,
still
seven
beat
games
them.
in a row.
7
Seven
games
games
in
in
a
a
row.
row.
At that must, you can take the Scudetto, you can beat the little teams. It's okay, guys. It's okay. But Milan, when you walk in Casa Milan and you see the trophies, you understand? Inter doesn't even have an Inter and Casa Inter. It's like a little 2x2 fucking pizza frita in somewhere in Milan. So that's what you get from the derby. They understand that. And I think they do. Now it's
Yeah.
up to Milan to do what they need to do best. And what they need to do best is really start focusing on what this project's going to be, not only after this year, but 4 or 5 years down the road, so that we can actually take back what it is. Because Milan is black and red. It has been so for 7 games in a row.
Yeah, it has. I'm glad that the experience was phenomenal for you. You got to see an Estupiñán goal and a derby victory. So I'm very happy for you. G, you got this past weekend to go do something you haven't done in a while. Just what's your parting shot, buddy?
Man, it was going good seeing the Italian Stallions, man. Ale, my brother, why do I forget Spencer? Lore. Those is my guy Milton, Jonathan. Who were there, man, and it was just glad to see. And when you've been missing for a while, man, it just shows you the appreciation how the brotherhood and even sisterhood is there. Even Taylor, he was there with his family. How they appreciate you and they know that you come to the game, and that was the most important thing, man. Being with my brothers, doing the chants. Yeah, the game sucked, but I guess at the end of the day, we go to cheer on the team, a team win, lose, or draw, something that Lord
Right.
Figo will never know how to do. He go hiding. He starts saying "My Scudetto" when you start losing to Bodo Glimpse and all that. We don't do that. Stevie P here on Monday. Me and Fabio are not here on Wednesdays because we do not have Champions League games, but
We
we
ain't
would
got
be
no
here.
game to talk about, so we
Yeah,
gotta we
so
gotta
we would be
hijack
here
Monday now.
after every loss if we could. But I mean, that's what it is, man. Just the camaraderie, the brotherhood, the sisterhood of Milan fans. Interistas, they don't have that. Fabio and Stevie P, and they mad about that.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure if there was even a Interista club over here, but we know Lord Figo ain't leaving outside. Milan Club SoCal, go check them out. Make sure you follow the Instagram. They'll post up when they're going to be meeting and where they're going to be meeting. Go see Gio live, say what up, take a picture of the whole nine. Me and Stevie, Milan Club Montreal, always at Chicharo's. Got to check them out. And of course, Milan Club New York, we are in the one and only Legends Bar, the football factory in the basement. Undoubtedly my favorite experience, unless you're at the San Siro, is to be with the club in New York City. 33rd and 5th Avenue. Go check it out. We're going to be there on the game against Torino on Saturday. You don't want to miss it. It's a great club. Come check it out. Come check out the bar. Guys, this all has been Milan Weekly Podcast. We're here. Vinny T will hopefully be back next week. Me and Gio, God knows when we'll be back. But Stevie and Vinny will be back. Everybody, we appreciate everybody in the comments being here with us, even if you're a jerky Figo or one of the Milanistas here, always coming through. If you haven't, please smash the like button and leave a comment if you're checking it out later. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ovunque e sempre.
Forza
Forza
Milan.
Milan!
What's up, Milan, everybody? Good night. Peace out.